Hello and welcome to another video from the only source of information that you need to not only survive the current apocalypse but actually enjoy it. And today we're just going to talk about the 23rd a little bit more. First thing is I need to make an announcement. One of my friends who was going to come stay with me for September 23rd, he's not confident enough in his car to actually make the trip, and we've discussed options, but it probably is best that he doesn't come, but for that reason. But the fact is, there's an open bed now, so if you want to come down and stay with us, just hang out, go sit on the beach and watch the moon to see what happens, if anything. You can have your own bed. You don't have to sleep with me. If you're a woman, that option is available, but it's not necessary. You can come here and you'll get your own bed for a few days. That order of business being taken care of, we can move on to talking about some other things. I've got a couple of people who have told me that my videos are getting really confusing, and I guess a lot of it's because it's a really confusing subject to start with, but a lot of it is just because I'm not writing scripts. All the videos you watch where I'm perfect, it's because I got everything wrote down and I've got it on a teleprompter, and if you can read, you can get through a video without making any mistakes. But if you don't have a script, it's like every video's gonna have mistakes. And plus there's the fact that I ramble in all different directions when I'm talking. But some people have said that no man knows the day or the hour, and technically I'm not telling you the day or the hour. I'm actually not talking about the end of the world. I'm talking about the moon going full and remaining full forever, which could potentially happen on September 23rd, 2023. That's 11 days away. Now, something I may not have said when I started down this road is that September 23rd, 2023 is not the only date that I came up with as I was going through the Bible and doing the math. There's actually 4 dates. 2 of the dates are 49 years from now. Since I want to be here when this happens, I dismiss those. I'm like, there's no way in the world that I've been through all of this, and now the end of the world is going to happen 30 years after I'm dead. So, and not only that, but I did a video a while back called Chronology, A Young Earth and the End of the World, and I can't remember exactly when I said the end of the world was going to come, but I do kind of remember 1969. 1969 was the beginning of when the end of the world could come. And I think like 2036 or 2037, somewhere around that, is the end. You've only got so much window there that could potentially be the end of the world. But we don't know. The calendar was disrupted when God said that He was changing times and seasons. If you go back a few prophets said that God was changing times and seasons. And then immediately around the world, this isn't just in Israel, but around the world, all calendars went out of existence. They just stopped working because we had a 360-day year. Right after the prophets announced that God was changing times and seasons, we went to a 365-day year. So that we had a time period. Human beings had lived in this perfect world with 360-day years for thousands of years, and then suddenly nothing, that wasn't the case anymore. And so people were confused for a long time. There was like 400 years where it was basically historians don't know what was going on because no one knew how to record time. And in fact, it was 1,500 years from the time that the Earth changed, the solar system changed, till Pope Gregory created the Gregorian calendar that we use today. Anyway, September 23rd is the date that I picked for when the moon would go full and remain full forever. You know, the book of Revelation says there'd be 1,260 days, there would be 42 months, there would be 3.5 years, and so if you figure 1,260 divided by 3.5 years, you come up with 360-day year. And I thought, how would I know if we were to do that? You know, would it just be a surprise? One day we would feel cold and it would be the middle of summer. You know, I didn't know. So I kind of thought about it, and I realized that the only way to have a 360-day year with 12 months in a year, you know, that's what the Bible says. 42 months is 1,260 days during the last days. That means you have 360-day year. And if that happened, the moon would always have to be on the other side of the earth from the sun. You know, in the beginning, Bible, God said He was going to make two great luminaries, one to rule over the day and one to rule over the night. And I thought, well, that makes sense. If the moon was always in the nighttime sky, we would have a 360-day year. So suddenly I realized that I could potentially understand when the last days began by looking up at the moon and just seeing if it's full. If it's full and it stays full, then we're in the last days. But it wasn't until the pandemic that I realized that there was a potential for the pandemic to be part of the cycles of time that existed before the calendar was changed. So when I tell you that the moon's going to go full, I'm not telling you that that's the end of the world, and I'm not telling you it's a rapture. It's just the beginning of the last days. It'll be 1,260 days later before we would actually experience the return of Jesus Christ. And for anybody that's out there trying to do the math, that comes out to April 1st of 2027. Not too far away. End of the world, Jesus returns. We all go back into paradise. But I know that, you know, I suffer from depression. I've been in bed for 1.5 years now. I mean, I'm not in bed now, but I do spend most of my time just laying in bed. And like on my 60th birthday is when that started, and I came really close to committing suicide around that time. I've always been too cowardly to actually commit suicide. But I started thinking, you know, if September 23rd comes along and nothing happens, you know, what am I going to do? Well, there are other dates. Did I already say that? September 23rd, 2023 was just the first date. The second day is September 22nd, 2025. And the reason it's a day off is because our equinox always happens on September 22nd or September 23rd. It just, however the calendar, you know, is set up that particular year. So, I mean, even if nothing happens September 23rd, I only have to wait 2 more years for something else. But still, I'm putting a lot of my hopes into this upcoming day. And that's kind of why I've got people coming over. I mean, I think it's a good idea that if you can do September 23rd with a fellow believer, like just go out and take a peek at the moon every now and then to see if it's where it belongs or if it's moved into its proper position. But I really, even though I got people coming for that, and it's going to be a good time. I've already planned out all kinds of, fun activities. But if nothing happens, like cosmically, the solar system doesn't start repairing itself, I am going to get pretty depressed. And I just feel like I need to have people around me. I don't want to break down crying in front of people like I always do. But I mean, if I do, at least somebody will be there to hug me make me feel better. And, they're not staying with me for the rest of my life. So Carlos and Chris said that they would come out here and stay with me through the first part of October, because that's when our big car show is down here, cruising the coast. Thousands of cars. We could have some fun together. And also, they can just be here with me to kind of get me through it. I mean, I'm really hoping that the moon becomes full. Then I think I probably would be very happy. But anyway, I don't know. There's actually 4 dates, by the way. It's not 2. But I really think that the end times are upon us, and that the other 2 dates are 49 years after the starting date. So here we are, it's 2 years in. So 47 years from now would be the 3rd date, and then 49 years from now would be the 2nd date, I think. But I threw those dates out because I just don't think the end of the world I don't think the world can last that much longer. All the stuff that's going on. I'm sure there's people who've thought that in the past, but you gotta admit, this is weird. It's not like earthquakes, famines, pestilence, and wars. Those things have always been here, but you've got just weird stuff. All the transgender stuff. We have a mentally handicapped president. That's not normal. So, and then not only that, but there really is peak oil. You can't deny that oil doesn't last forever. If you keep pumping it out of the ground, eventually you'll run out and the culture will just collapse. I know there's things in the works like these electric cars and stuff, but you can't keep attacking the earth that you live on and expect the earth to continue providing for you. Eventually the earth is just gonna quit. I don't know where to go with this, but I don't want to do this over again. Like press the stop button and start a new video, because it makes me even more confused than I already am. But just know that I am very confident about September 20. Well, I'm not, but I'm confident that either this year or 2 years from now will be the start of the last days. And once that starts, it's all downhill from there, because if you know the start date for the last days, then you can figure out the end date. And so it gives you that light at the end of the tunnel. I mean, most people, you tell them the end of the civilization's coming and they start crying, oh no, that's terrible. I know that you're not the same. If you're watching this, you're probably like me, and you want civilization to come to an end. Your faith in paradise is greater than the average person. And I really do want that. I don't know if I should tell you this, but I think everybody knows I'm being treated for mental health issues, depression. And so a lot of that is when you're depressed, you can't do anything and you just cry a lot. I just tonight spent like an hour crying, and it was, I looked downstairs and my wife was at the bottom of the stairs looking up, and I could tell she was scared. But I can't help it. It's just very emotional time for me right now. I turned 60. I'm 61 now, but when I turned 60, I was put through a really degrading experience, and I had already been getting more and more depressed as I approached 60, because it's a long time to be all alone. And I'm all alone in a dilapidated house taking care of a mentally handicapped person. And I've got a good life. This is the life that I always wanted to get to a point where I didn't have to go to work. And I don't have to go to work. And my wife not that hard to take care of. But I mean, it's not like I have to be shoveling coal all day or something like that. But I do every hour or so. I have to get up and come down here and see if she's okay, and bring her food or bring her to the bathroom or whatever. But that life does wear on you, and I guess there's people that are like more able to adapt to that kind of stuff. I'm not able to adapt to that kind of stuff. I was born on this world going, where's paradise? Probably like every other baby comes into this world going, where's paradise? But most babies within a year go, oh, there isn't any paradise. We'll just live in this. Me, I was all my life. I'm thinking, well, why do we have to do this stuff? Why do people get old and sick and die? Why are there wars? Why are people so mean to each other? And I have those feelings going through me all the time, and I think a lot of you do as well. I'll just say this, if you want to come visit, just let me know. You can come visit for September 23rd. We're going to go down to the beach, have a bonfire, watch the moon, and hopefully if nothing happens, we can still be happy and come home and enjoy each other's company. In fact, Demetrius fried some fish the other day, and he said, man, you got a fryer? When I come down there, I'm going to fry some fish. And I thought, well, I got a fryer, but it's gas powered and I don't think it works. So I'm going to go get one of those Fry Daddies. I went to Walmart and I'm like, the crowd I got here, I don't want to be messing with a Fry Daddy. It's too small. I'd like to be able to fry enough for everybody one time. So I went online, I looked at one that was bigger, and I ordered it. It's like $160. So I guess I should have known. But it came in yesterday. I went out in the yard and there's this huge box in my yard. And I'm like, what in the world is that? Because I just wasn't expecting anything that big, but I'll show you. This is crazy. This is crazy. You're going to laugh. I guess you'll laugh. Let me turn my lights on. This is a commercial unit. This thing looks like the fryers they had in the galley that I used to work on stuff in the galley on the ship that I was on. And this is like some huge industrial stuff here. Uh-oh, we're out of focus. That's okay, this video is about done. Yeah, if you come down, we're not just going to be going to the beach and having a bonfire. We're going to have some kind of fry, shrimp fry, French fish fry, something. All right. Love y'all. And as always, if you don't want to survive, don't listen to me. Oh, wait. I don't know, did I tell y'all, there's an extra bed because one of my subscribers cannot make it. And I said before, there's no beds in my house, so I can't have anybody else over, but now we'll have an empty bed. So you can come here, and if you're a woman, you can come here and have the bed to yourself. You don't have to sleep with me. All right. Good night. Love y'all.